What's up, people? Welcome back to the Boxing Objective. This video is going to be about Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to let you guys know that we have officially reached the 200 subscriber mark. So now at the 500 subscriber mark, we're going to be giving away a whole slew of boxing related prizes. All you've got to do to enter into the competition is like, comment and subscribe. Once you've left your comment, I'll have your name and I'll be able to put it into the hat for the prize draw. Now guys, I thank you so much for all the support so far. Best of luck in the prize draw and let's get to 500 subscribers. So, Tyson Fury and his family have had some major troubles in the past 2 weeks. Tyson Fury's newborn baby girl, baby Athea, was incredibly unwell and was in intensive care. She had actually died for 3 minutes and the doctors were able to revive her. I didn't really want to report on this at the time because I kind of felt like I wanted to wait and see how things would turn out, because I can't imagine what the Fury family must be going through having to deal with a situation like this. And to be honest with you, I'd rather report on it once there was good news to report, because since then she has been making a lot of positive steps in the right direction and it looks as if everything's going to be okay. Now at the time it looked like they was going to have to call off the fight. Anybody in that situation would say, you know, forget everything else, I don't care what's going on, I need to focus on my family right now. And you couldn't expect anybody to do anything under these sorts of circumstances. And as you know, if you don't go into boxing and have your mind in the right place, it's not only a fact of whether you could lose, you could end up getting seriously hurt. I have to say that there was a few times when I was a bit upset because it didn't sound as if very positive words were being said in regards to this subject when it came from Deontay Wilder's fans. Now Wilder himself, to my knowledge, he never really said anything disrespectful, because he himself, obviously, he could probably understand the situation that Tyson Fury is in, having a daughter of his own with medical problems. As we know, that she's the reason why he started boxing. So to be fair to Deontay Wilder, he does seem focused on just training and keeping his boxing going. But there are others on that side of the fence that would even try to suggest that this was just going to be another excuse on part of Tyson Fury. Now to those people, I can honestly say you need to find a bit of class, because at the end of the day, that's a little baby, an innocent baby there that you're talking about, and it is uncalled for. These sorts of things you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. That's an innocent child. So, you know, bloody pull yourselves together, mate. Think about these things before you go saying stuff like that, because that's a man's family. That's the line you don't cross. So with that being said, everything looks to be going through. We're going to get this fight, third fight, and Tyson Fury has now declared that it's going to be radio silence from him. He's going to focus on training and getting ready for this fight. Well, he's been back here in the UK as a result of what's been going on with his daughter. His father, John Fury, has had many things to say about Tyson right now. And the thing I love the most about John Fury is this is an example of how fathers should treat their children. Don't sugarcoat anything. Tell your kids the truth. If you think your kid is messing up, you need to tell them. And you need to tell them how they're going to fix it. You need to give them that swift kick up the backside sometimes. I mean, it's a parent's job, right? This is what parents are supposed to do for their kids, to let them know that this is what you did right, this is where you're heading, but this needs to improve. And I think John Fury is always the voice of reason when it comes to his sons, probably all of his children. And he really does seem to have a bee in his bonnet about Tyson's situation when he's in America. He suggests that he's just surrounded by yes men. People are not going to tell him how it is. And he has been a bit critical of his son's current fighting style, suggesting that maybe Tyson is becoming a bit more one-dimensional, no longer looking to be that kind of stick and move, that guy who floats around like a butterfly and stings like a bee. He's trying to focus on that one punch power that somebody has put in his head. This is exactly what Sugar Hill is all about. Going for the knockout. Don't leave the fight to the judges. Go in there and finish this guy off. But the problem, right, is kind of a thing where what makes Tyson Fury great is the fact of how he boxed, the way he moved, his elusiveness, his awkwardness. And yeah, you might want to go in there and just bulldoze Deontay Wilder again. But don't ever forget about boxing on the back foot, because in the first fight against Deontay Wilder, that is the one thing that Tyson Fury did well. And a lot of people gave Tyson Fury the nod for that one. Maybe Ben Davison was right, because Ben Davison said all of this. Ben Davison's idea of what Tyson Fury was going to be would have been a boxer puncher, and now it shows that Ben Davison could have been right. So there are a few murmurs about the relationship between Tyson Fury and Sugar Hill. As we know, that Tyson Fury does not have any issue with changing his coaches at any time if he feels like things are not working out the way he would prefer. I mean, he switched from Ben Davison because he felt like maybe he needed to change things up a little bit, and Ben Davidson still to this day his very good friend. Now, I still stick to my original prediction of this fight, but we do have to give a lot of credit to Deontay Wilder, because this guy seems to be very focused. He seems to be hell-bent on making the changes necessary, and we are getting the occasional, video about him, and it's mainly of his training, but there is complete radio silence from him. He is not talking, and that is quite uncharacteristic of him, because he's always got a lot to say. But he just seems like a man on a mission. He really is coming to try and attempt to take his belts back. And straight up, it might be Deontay Wilder. I've made it no secret as to what I think about Deontay Wilder's boxing skills in general. But at the same time, you still got to be on your A game. You still got to show up and be the best version of yourself, because it's the heavyweight division. One punch can change everything. And as we all know, Deontay Wilder has got a bit of a history of landing that one punch. Now, Tyson Fury did in fact get up. Tyson Fury has in fact taken Deontay Wilder's best shot, but let's just suggest that just for a split second, Tyson Fury's mind ain't right. Anything can happen. We just don't know. Now, John Fury, he still rates Deontay Wilder quite highly. I think you have to say that to some degree, because you're not going to turn around and say, oh, this guy's nothing and this, that and the other. It doesn't make your son look very good, does it? I mean, all of this credit that they've given Deontay Wilder is also just to big themselves up. But anyway, that's a little roundup of everything that's going on with those guys. I'd like to end this video by just saying, thank you to the NHS, because all through that international crisis of 2020, the NHS were like our frontline soldiers fighting to keep the country safe. And despite all of that, if we think about the amount of times our loved ones have needed help, medical attention, it's been the NHS. We've been able to turn to the NHS when we have needed them, and they've always been there. I, for one, just cannot thank them enough. I would hate to think that any of my loved ones or any of your loved ones would need help and we couldn't get the medical attention that we needed. So big props to them, and let's all send healing and positive energy to Tyson Fury's daughter and wish the Fury family the very best. And let's see what happens in the fight, the third fight between Wilder and Fury. But yeah, guys, I will catch you on the next video. This is the Boxing Objective. Peace.